My name is Tori Nageotte, and this is the story of how I created the sketch pack. At the beginning of the year in my Design Thinking for Social Product Innovation class, we were asked to identify a bucket that we would be interested in working on in a developing nation. Of the 17 UN goals for sustainability, I chose to focus on quality education and gender equality. After doing some research, I found that the female population of Nepal has a literacy rate of just 44.5%. Many young girls, especially in rural areas of Nepal, are expected to leave school early for child marriage, child labor, or because their families are unable to afford their school supplies. The segment that I chose to focus on was girls ages 8 to 14 living in rural Nepal in low-income families, which makes up about 5% of the population, or 1.8 million people. After identifying the segment that I would be working on, the next step was to come up with many possible solutions. After coming up with 50 different concepts, I separated the concepts into several different categories: homeschooling, delivering education, multi-use school supplies, backpacks and bags, and self-defense. I then sent a survey of these concepts to my panel of 25 experts in gender equality, quality education, Nepal, and product design in order to see which would be the most feasible in allowing more young girls to obtain an education. After reviewing the survey results, I found that a majority of my panel thought that multi-use school supplies and maximizing the use of school supplies would be the most feasible. I then developed 4 different products: the storage book, the sketch pack, the school case, and the pocket poncho, and sent another survey to my panel of experts. After reviewing the results of the second survey, I found that the most popular product idea was the sketch pack. Many of the comments supporting the sketch pack said that the use of an Etch-a-Sketch instead of a notebook would significantly reduce the cost of traditional school supplies and allow more young girls to be able to obtain an education. One of the difficulties that similar products have faced, and that I would face while developing this product, were making it as inexpensive as possible, as the segment that I would be focusing on were low-income families. After doing some more research, I chose to further define my target market. I decided to focus on northern rural Nepal, as many families work in fishing or farming, which have low, unreliable incomes. I decided to focus on families with multiple children, as it is more difficult for them to afford school supplies for all of their children. Even though this product is intended for girls ages 8 to 14, I chose to market this product to their parents, as they would most likely be the ones purchasing the product. With this newly defined segment in mind, I began redesigning the sketch pack. I decided to make 2 different models of the sketch pack, one backpack and one tote bag. A majority of my panel and classmates thought that the backpack design was more feasible, but they also brought up important questions such as how would I reduce the price and what would be the weight of the product. With these questions in mind, I created a revised model. After sending the revised model to my panel, classmates, and professors, a majority of the feedback was to simplify the product in order to reduce manufacturing costs. With this in mind, I changed my product to make it a drawstring bag rather than a backpack. I then developed a mission statement, which was to make education accessible and affordable for everyone. The sketch pack is an innovative product because it uses pre-existing technology to create a reusable tool that reduces the annual financial burden of school supplies on low-income families. Using products like a dry erase board or a chalkboard are similar to using an Etch-a-Sketch, but are not completely reusable. There are not many products like the sketch pack that meet the education need in Nepal, but there are nonprofit organizations that bring school supplies to low-income areas. The sketch pack is a unique and innovative product because it aims to reduce the financial burden of school supplies on low-income families, as well as providing a reusable tool for kids to use inside and outside of school. The product name Sketch Pack is innovative and clearly defines itself because it combines the 2 main elements of the product, the Etch-a-Sketch and the backpack. My company name, Sastu School, or a cheap school company, in Nepali, accurately conveys a message of affordable and accessible school supplies. After refining the sketch pack and creating a company name, the next step was to develop a business model canvas for my company. After creating my company's business model canvas, I then had to design marketing for my product. I designed an informative tag for the product as well as a retail display in order to market the product in general stores in rural Nepal as well as in supermarkets. Though the school year is done, the next steps in this project would be to go to Nepal and test my product with my target market and refine it based on their feedback. I would also find general stores and supermarkets in rural northern Nepal that I would be able to sell my product in. Though I do not plan on continuing this product, I would expect Swastika Shresha, CEO of Teach for Nepal, and one of my most active panel members to continue this project for me. Here is a list of references that I've used for this project throughout the year. Thanks for a great year and stay safe in quarantine.